In this video, we're going to talk about how you should prepare your paper for printmaking. What paper you should use, how you should soak it, why you need to soak it, and what are the 3 steps you need to complete before you print. So the 3 things you need to do with your paper before you print is you need to soak it, then you need to drain it, and then you need to blot it. Paper that you should use for printmaking should be acid-free. That means it should be 100% rag, cotton or linen fibre. If acid-free, it will not discolour in time. Once soaked, paper will swell and soften, and as a result, when put under the press and blankets, it will fill all those gaps inside your plate when intaglio printmaking. You can use any watercolour paper. I prefer to use quite heavy paper, 300 grams. It's very thick. So when soaked, it can really expand and fill those gaps. So why do you need to soak your paper? What soaking does, it removes something called sizing. Sizing is a starch-like substance which reduces paper's ability to absorb water. Heavy rag printing paper should be soaked for any time between 5 to 30 minutes. I have my 300 gram paper, and this is my tray where I keep water for soaking the paper. And I have a little bit of a hack for you. If you put a little bit of washing up liquid in your water, it will last you a little bit longer. So yeah, that's a really good tip. Anyway, so I'm going to now soak my paper, and I'm going to leave it here for somewhere between 15 to 30 minutes. Sometimes 5 minutes is enough, but really just depends how heavy your paper is, how long it will take to soak through. Mine is 300 grams, so I'm probably going to wait at least 15 minutes. The longer the better, really. If you are using a much thinner paper for printmaking, or rice paper, or paper that hasn't got much sizing in it, it's not very stiff. I don't have any rice paper to hand to demonstrate that, but you will know, because once you soak it, you will see that the paper starts to disintegrate. So if you're printing on a paper like this, all you have to do is, you don't need to soak it because it's already very soft. What you just do then is you can use a spray. Just spray it with water just to wet it on both sides, and that should be enough. Then you can blot it, either gently blot it with some kitchen towel, and that should be enough. And what you can do is, if you want to have it ready for printmaking, you can have a batch of these and put them in between 2 plastic sheets. So I have handy 2 plastic sheets that I put all my wetted paper and ready for printing. So this can keep, you know, a couple of days. You can keep them like that. Obviously you couldn't keep them like this for too long, but you can keep your paper like that and ready for printing anytime you want. So that's a really good way of doing it. You can also do that with soaked paper once it's been blotted too. But this is better for sort of thinner paper techniques. If you have lots of proof printing, you don't want to use your really good heavy paper, just have a batch of much thinner paper, either soaked, it depends on the quality of the paper, or just sprayed with water and just kept like this away from air, so it doesn't dry out. Okay, now, so I have soaked my paper for good half an hour. So Number 1, soak. Number 2, drain. Number 3, blot. You could either hang it up on a line and let it drain, or you can just do it like this, just for a minute or so, just to get, as it gets most of the water off. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use a special blotting paper, and you can buy it in any good art shop that specializes in printmaking. You can get it online. So it's a special kind of paper that absorbs water really well. As you can see, I've used it a lot. It's gone all a little bit buckled, but it doesn't actually matter. It still works pretty well. So I've got my paper. As you can see, it is still shiny. It's quite wet. So I'm going to place it here. And what I actually have is I have a printing roller. You can use any kind of roller, it doesn't matter. You can use a bottle if you like. If you don't have blotting paper, I have in the past used kitchen towel, a really good absorbent kitchen towel like this. You can use that for blotting. But after years of printmaking, I have realized that actually blotting paper does the best job, and it can last for a while, because if you have several of those sheets, you can just put them in different layers as it gets wet. So it's not expensive, and it's really worth investing in. So here we go. That should do the job. So now my paper is lovely and wet, soaked, but as you can see, it's not shiny anymore. If I pressed it against my lips, it doesn't feel wet. It's absolutely perfect for printing. Okay, now that my plate is all inked up, I'm just going to place it on my printing press. As you can see, I have a registration pack here for my prints, and if you want to find out how to register prints, I do have a video about registration in printmaking on my channel. You're very welcome to have a look at it. So here we go. Newsprint on top to protect my blankets, and a bit of cardboard always helps. I'd like to keep my blankets nice and dry, otherwise they stiffen up and don't do the job properly anymore, and they are very expensive. Here we go. Okay, now let's have a look. We should have all those beautiful textures. As you can see, the paper has really embossed the textures. Beautiful. And look at that. It's wonderful, isn't it? Let's get a closer look. There you can really see the edge is so deeply embossed. It's a beautiful, beautiful effect, and that you can only achieve that when the paper is soaked and soft, and can pick up all these ink, delicate structures in intaglio printmaking. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it helps you with understanding about why you need to soak paper and the steps you need to complete before you print. Thank you for watching.